don't know where my, anyway, this is the explanation of why the troughs are being built. As you can see, we planted strawberries.
You need a mic.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do, because nobody can hear you.
Explaining why we built the troughs.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing all right today. On the planter boxes, we are moving on to cutting down the metal to get the frames done for those boxes. So, as of yesterday, I now have the new Max Cut Evolution S14 MCS mitering cut saw, cold cut saw, whatever you want to call it. So bought this with my own money, not sponsored by any way or means, even though I do have affiliate links in my channel for Evolution, which if you use those, you can also take Fab and Bill 5, get a 5% discount. It gives me a few bucks, that's it. I don't make any major money off this stuff. It is what it is. So anyway, I've been waiting for this for quite a while. Quick story, I bought the 355, which was the predecessor to this, and because of my broken foot, I never opened the box. Kudos to Evolution for being great on their customer service. Because it was an unopened box, I was able to return it. It's an oddball situation, but they were very willing to work with me, so my hat is off to Evolution and the whole team there. Josh, Tom in an affiliate programs, whatever, talk to him. Anyway, so these tools to me are some of the best in the industry. That's why I buy them. Like I said, this is not a paid sponsorship deal on this channel at all. But they're very, very nice. So we're gonna get into cutting down the pieces that I need. The reason this was so important to me on this one, the 355 would have worked. I opted to get the slower protected motor. It's slow start, brake. It actually has a shadow line on it. You can go to Evolution, you can go to Tim Wells. Tim Wells does a review on this. He has one, I think, that Evolution sent to him. So you can check that out. This is really not an open box, or it's not a review, so to speak. But anyway, because this miters both ways, that was the reason that I was so hard pressed to get this saw. The other one mitered both ways, but I figured, hey, if I can upgrade to this, let's see if we can do it. It's a couple $100 difference. Not that big a deal when I was all the way in it to it anyway. Stand was 350 bucks plus tax. Of course, it's always free shipping with Evolution, at least in my experience so far. I guess if you spend enough money, they don't charge you shipping. So the stand, really nice, has the hydraulic ram on it. The lift assist, it's really nice. I would say this, with this saw being 100 pounds, the other one being somewhere in the neighborhood of about 85, this was originally designed, the stand was originally designed for the 355. Evolution, Tom, Josh, if any of you guys are listening, here's what I would say. Double ram, one on both sides. When it's in shipping, strap it down, strap it close, so when the shipper drops it, like they did and dropped it on this end, and I had to beat the tube out that this goes into in order to make this work. So strap the table down where it doesn't eject open when they drop it. Because when they dropped it, when I got it, all of this crap was trying to come out of the box because it was already springing open. When I cut it open, it just sprung open on me. So, Evolution, there's your a tip if you're listening. Anyway, we're gonna get busy on this and get these things cut. Thanks for coming in today. $12.50 on the money. Sweet. And just in case anybody is wondering, 90 is 90 and 45 is 45. right out of the box. So another kudos to Evolution on that. Making a good product. Anyway, out of the box, this thing is pretty much good to go. Do yourself a favor if you get one of any of these saws. I don't care which one it is. Double check it. Put your squares to it. Your stuff that's known to be accurately square. Use those to double check your setup. Double check the saw setup. Make sure that they're all good to go before you use them, and you shouldn't have any problems. And I always double check my links just to be on the safe side, because I messed up earlier. I sure did. I took a 52 and I cut it at 56. But I was able to get both 52s and a 12 out of that stick, so we were all good. I didn't mess up too bad. Okay, so now we're going to work our way into doing the corners. Since we have everything cut down here, I'm going to take a couple of scrap pieces and double check myself to make sure that I'm right on what I'm thinking here. So. Okay, so those of you that watched me do this and I cut it like this on the angle where it was sitting up like I was cutting them straight, I cut that angle, you're going to catch me on this and you already know what happened. I'm going to have to cut them flat like this. That's the only way that I get the true 45. I don't know what I was thinking, but when I flipped it up like that, what I was doing, and I've done this a million times on this thing over here, the compound miter saw, is I created a compound miter joint. Anyway, we're back to doing it that way. So we are going to cut everything flat. I'm going to mark a few corners out to get myself oriented on some of these beginning pieces. Okay, and that's kind of important to me too as well. I wanted to show you, so I don't know how well you can see that. That little point, it is a square point. That's what I was shooting for. It's just a little tiny flat point that gives me a better spot to weld that with that. So that's pretty much the process. I'm going to go through here and cut all these corners on these, and when I get close to having them done, we'll be back. All right, good morning everybody. I hope you can hear me okay. I've kind of got a fan over here to my right blowing up here on me. I hope that's not too noisy. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and bevel all the edges of these on all of this stuff. I'm going to start with the 22-inch boxes. I'm going to get those done, and I'm going to come back and bevel the rest as I need them, because I want to get a couple of these boxes done. I've got to get some strawberries in these boxes ASAP. We've been fighting the timeline on this, and it's due. I just got to get it done. Okay, as promised, we're going to wipe down to see if there's any excess left on these boxes, just to be on the safe side. I am feeling a little bit, there's a little bit, okay. Yeah, we'll go to the inside as well, other side here. Okay, we're actually pretty good. So I'm gonna have two rails. These on both ends. is these will come up here and do this. As I measured these corners down and cut them, I marked them with the pencil. You can't barely see it, but then I marked these inside here as well. So this one will go here, 3 here, 2, 1. Okay, so I've got the flat bar cut. I've got 2 8.5 pieces for the end, and I've got 2 18 3/8 for the side or front and back. All right, we're gonna get set up, put these in here, and tack them in. Pull that off. I'm gonna go get the other box. We're gonna get it fitted up and get this thing rolling. Then we're gonna start welding these things out. Okay, so we've got them all wiped down. Use my mineral spirits to wipe them down real good. We're gonna get moving to the paint. So I'm fixing to put the first coat on this and get these started.
All right, we're gonna let that sit for just a second.
What I'm trying to do here is I've got the plastic spread across the top of this. I've got these ends pulled down even with each end. I've got these pulled even on each side or thereabouts. They're roughly gonna be about a 1/2 inch above your bottom plate that runs across the bottom where these go into the bottom plate. So the whole idea is to take it and press it down in here like this evenly, as even as possible. Okay, once I get in here, if I have that folded to the bottom and I have my tops right at the top here and right at the top here, if there's a little overhang, I'm not worried. A little bit of extra is never going to hurt anything. Close. So what I'm going to do is take my staple gun. I've got the Arrow T50 staples, 1/4 inch long. I'm going to get it down here across the center, as close as I can, and I'm just going to get it in the middle. I know I'm good there, I'm good here. That will be good there. Okay, so and I just come across the bottom, making the adjustments where I need to. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get all the way in the corner, as close as I can get. Flip it over, come back to the other corner, keeping it even across the bottom. I'm sorry about the bad angle on this. I'm trying to give you guys the best shot. All the way to the corner. All right. Now I'm pretty much going to do the same thing on the other side. You can flip it. If you have the space, you can walk around it. All right, I'm going to make sure that it's flat across this end. Corners I'm going to pull up out of the way for right now. I'm going to get this corner first. Flip it. pull this snug across and come get this corner here. All right, going to do the same thing over here on this end. Put it flush down against the bottom. Getting the outside corner here, flipping it over, getting the inside corner. Now we're going to come back across here and get this side. Now I should be able to pull that snug across the center. And we do the same thing. We work across one side to the corner, from the middle to the one corner. Come back in here, use the weight of the stapler to pull it down, pull this straight, no sags, all the way to the corner, and there we go. I will take this top and I will fold it over into here and make a nice little deal, and then I'm going to staple that to right here. I'm going to put these staples about 3 to 4 inches apart, all the way to the corner. So, and then the same thing here. We're going to come down the side, fold it over, keeping it as consistent as much as possible, 3 to 4 inches. And if your space warrants you to go less than 3 or 4 inches, then that's fine. Don't sweat it. Do less than 3 or 4 inches. It's almost like wrapping a Christmas present. And if you're not good at wrapping Christmas presents, I'm going to simplify that process for you too. So this is not difficult. All right, now for the ends. Let me get over here so I can hopefully simplify some of this for you. So it's really not that difficult. I'm going to take these, fold that out that way, fold this out that way. Since they're already stapled, it won't be that hard to do. All right, now I'm going to pull the center up in here, and I'm going to do the very same thing. I'm going to fold this over. Okay, so I'm going to staple that right here. Come across here. Staple that there. That there. There. And there. Now, these parts here, we're going to take and fold them in like so. Alright, it doesn't matter if it's neat or not, that part, you can fold it all under. If you need to make a cut on these, then make a cut to make it fit. But you're going to take and fold this like this, and then back down into that. Or you can cut it all up and staple it in how you want. I do this that way. I just get rid of the whole thing. I have a little extra barrier protection here, and it's not that big a deal. Okay. Then we're going to do the other end. Hold this in, hold that in, bring this over, pull that out, bring this down, fold it in, fold it down in there, bring it back over, fold that. Okay. Whoop. Just gonna take and cut a slit right down the center. So now we have our slit. I'm gonna leave it just like that. I am not going to trim it to the edge of the boards. This way, when any water goes out, it'll do this and somewhat cover the side of the boards. These are gonna get wet. They're gonna be out in the elements, so I'm not too worried about that. That's why we stained it. So that's pretty straight. Straight enough for me. I'm gonna run down through here. Just gonna zip this off. Try to keep it as straight as I can. And there we go. 10 inches. Flush it back up with this end. Take it off here about a ½ inch. Square it up with the top. You know how to do it. This is easy peasy. And all the way down to 22 right here. Do my 10 inches right here. 22. I'm gonna come in 10 inches here. 22. Bring my knife. Boom. Okay. There's those two. We've got our planter boxes here. I'm going to just staple this first one into place in the corners. So I'm going to staple this into place real quick with my 1/4 inch staples. Bring that down, tighten it up on the other side. Now I just come down through here, about 2 to 3 inches. We're right there, that's good enough. So I still have my drainage slot underneath. I can't even talk. My drainage slot. I have my fabric to keep the dirt from going out here in the center. So we're good to go. I'm gonna get this other one in, and then we're gonna call these done. These are ready for dirt. Okay, so we've got the first coat of paint on the large frame, the first large frame. I've got it sitting on its bottom, so everything else inside and out, edges, all the inside of the frames, they'll all be painted first. The only thing left to paint after this will be the bottom. So I think this is a better process to go ahead and knock out 95% of it or 98% of it, then what's left on the bottom is all we have. Okay, so I've got another box set up. As you can see here, what I've got is I've got a 3/32 piece of filler wire TIG rod in here. I'm spacing these frames out a little bit, and I've actually got some spacers. I've got some 16 gauge spacers right here and here, down on both ends. I've got one down there and down there. I've also got the 3/32 here, 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 and here. You'll see these other spacers here. That's holding those frames out. So I've been having a little bit of a fight on my hands when I go to put these boxes in these frames after I get them built. And sorry about the jiggling here. What I've come up with is that. So that's going to space it out evenly. That's going to get me the required space that I need all the way around the box to loosen this up on this box just a little bit. Metal, when I'm heating it up and welding all the corners, the flat bar and everything else around it, it's pulling it in a little bit. So I'm actually trying to negate some of that at this point. I can keep everything else straight in line with this once I get this set. me cut my corners down and we'll come tack those. Okay, I'm not sure how well you can see it. I have some 16 gauge plates clamped on both sides to go over this corner to hold it and space it out where I need it. I'm just bringing this plate in about halfway of this 45 on this corner. That's going to give me more than enough support and more than enough to grip to. We're going to get this off the box. This should come off the box a lot easier than all of its predecessors. Yeah, look at that. Just like it ought to be. I'm going to call this end A. And down here is also end A. So that way I know this end goes here. All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to do a liner on the big ones, the big ones. We're going to do a liner on the large planters right now. I've got this plastic already pre-cut. What I've done is that I've gone through here, laid it out to where I know that it's going to be the same distance down the sides and the ends. But these are the corners, and I've got it marked in every corner here. So when I push this down, that's my reference. So I know where that needs to lay once it's down in here. So the visqueen liner is done. Put my knife in here. Just gently run that all the way back to the other end. Okay, so we're back. I've got my liner cut. We're just gonna drape that down in here and we're good. Okay, so I'm gonna start on this end, pretty much gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna fold this over. I'm gonna put that right at the top of my plastic. And if you wanna take it over your plastic just a little bit so it covers and they don't see it, for whoever might see it, it's up to you. That is totally a personal preference. That's not a mandatory thing. Right up at the edge. And you'll probably want to put these staples probably, I don't know, inch and a half apart. All right, I'm going to press it downward, pull it into my bottom layer down here. Actually, I'm going to hold it like this. I'm going to go down on the sides, down in the center first, and then all the way to the bottom, down the side, same thing. All the way to the bottom. I'm going to take my stapler and lay it like this now in the bottom. Pull this fabric. Weight of my stapler. Push my stapler into the end plate here. Center up my fabric. Make sure I'm good there. And while I'm there, I'm going to go ahead and drive a staple. All the way in the corner. Flip it, and this one is done. So all done. Moving to the next one, and on that one we're going to show you how we attach the screws to the side rails, put the handles on and everything else when we get to that one. Okay, so seeing as that we've got this one done, we're going to get outside. We're going to move out there. I'm going to grab my wife and we're actually going to have her plant some strawberries for us in these planters. So that way everybody has a full taste and a good reason as to why I built this. I mean, it's enough for me to say strawberries. Everybody gets strawberries. But for those that may be doing this, I think we wanted to throw this segment in here that she might have some helpful hints and some tips for you guys and gals that might be wanting to do this, or that's looking to do this, or whatever. Or just have an interest in it and think, wow, you know, that'd be interesting to know, whether you ever use it or not. So anyway, we're gonna get that put together. We're gonna get out there, we're gonna get her, we're gonna put some strawberries in these big planters. We'll see you out there.
Anyway, this is the explanation of why the troughs are being built. As you can see, we planted strawberries.
You need a mic.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do, because nobody can hear you. Okay, welcome back to Fab and Build. We're in the backyard. Got some of the planters done, as I had discussed in the video previously. We've got this one built, frame around it, screws in, handles on, liner is done. The fabric is done all the way up from one end down across the bottom and up the other. I did this just to cover the folded ends. It wound up that way. I cut it long. I thought, you know what, we'll just do it that way. Anyway, we're gonna get busy, mix the dirt, put it in here, plant some more strawberries. This planter already has its strawberries in there. These that you see here are fixing to go in there.
Right.
I'm gonna let my wife take over and explain what she does while she does it. Hopefully this will be of some importance to some of you people out there, and this might help make a difference in your planting of strawberries and herbs. Carol?
Okay. Well, as you can see, he's already built, and this is the reason for him building those strawberry things. I have bought plants and I have used several different things to help grow strawberry. They are easy, but unless you treat them the way they feel like they want to be treated, they're not going to grow. But this works for us. As you can see, I'm not advocating this soil, but this is the soil and the setup that we use that works greatly, as you can see, for
Right,
our,
definitely
our
not a sponsor of the channel.
No,
for
I'm
sure.
not a sponsor for anything.
Just works for us.
That's it. All right, so I will say this, and I know I can get by with this. If you're doing a potted plant, buy potting soil. Don't go garden soil. That stuff is as hard as ever.
And this one, the Vigoro, is actually chemical free. Not that we're promoting it.
Right.
Black cow time.
Yep. Good stuff. Really good stuff. We've used this stuff for many years.
Everything, actually.
Okay.
You need me to mix all that up?
Yes, sir. Can I talk about strawberries?
Yeah.
I ordered these strawberries from a nursery. I had tried several from the department stores. They, to me, didn't last very long. I'm just simply saying. So I found a nursery out of Massachusetts, but they work. And I'd rather go straight to a nursery and do strawberries. But as you can see, on further down, we've got several herbs, some more strawberries, lavender, rosemary.
So we're gonna get this, I'm gonna get a shot of the bed so we can get this into play. All right, we're good to go.
I just had a thought
What's that?
to pull the water hose out, and then when it gets half full, wet that part down. And,
Okay. That's fine.
I think that'll work better than trying to just try to pour and pour and
And soak
pour.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's good, yeah.
Okay.
So she's gonna get the water hose and bring it out. When we did these others, we sat and soaked those for a good 15, 20, 30 minutes. She's gonna go ahead and wet all this down to get this water soaked into this soil. And then we're gonna add more, do it again. Got it?
Not all the way.
Go ahead and take off with it.
Okay. All right, that'll work. Awesome. Okay, cool. Let me set that right there for now.
You wanna soak it?
As we go, yeah.
That's what you were gonna do.
Well, I was going to get half full and then,
Oh.
This is not a bad idea either. That way it's getting moisture all the way through.
Right.
Are you still going?
Yeah,
You're gonna have to edit.
I know.
My mic was on. They heard a
know.
cuss word.
Oh. Well, I didn't hear you saying cuss words. We'll go back and we'll check it out.
I had the wrong water thing. Sorry.
Well, maybe we'll leave it in there and just beep it out.
That'll be.
Yeah, she cusses people. She's no different than the rest of us.
Oh Lord, no. You want to see me shimmy?
Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Bop, huh? Yeah, we'll need more.
Okay. All right, let me back this out right now.
We want to go ahead and fill it before we put the strawberries in it, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, so hang on. Okay, what I have here is bone meal. The reason I'm going through here with bone meal, pretty literally, and you're going to see me use it again when I put the berries in here. Any kind of shock, because every plant goes through it. But with you have a bone meal, and other different plants will also call for bone meal and blood meal, two separate things. But I'm going to do this, and we're going to top it off, and then we're going to put the strawberries in there. And like I said, again, you're going to see me use the bone meal, but it's also going to help with the shock, transplant shock. That's it. Garden knives. Yay!
Dangerous with a knife. You scar me with a knife.
Just shake it out in there.
Oh, well, all right.
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
More?
No, I think I like that. That right there's good. Because when I go in with the plants and stuff, then we will top them off as long as the crowns are not covered.
A little bit here. Okay.
Ooh, awesome. And I'm sure some of you have seen the video of him making these stools.
I think I have to do another video because that I think was a quick little photo post for Instagram. I don't
Okay.
think I did the full video on those.
So you want me to start down here and go that way?
That's fine.
What you're going to see is these strawberries are root bound. And so far as you can see these others, you'll see them better here in a minute. They're surviving. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that about right?
That's about right.
Good okey. Sweet.
Well, you'll have one right here in the center here. Here's
Okay.
1, 2. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Let me have that back. There. Well, okay. We'll correct it here in a minute. All right.
We take the planter, we push it down in there to make the hole for the plant.
Yes. And it should be enough, but I'm gonna make sure that my crown of the strawberry does not go into the dirt. If that, you're just taking life away from her, and she will die.
Right.
It's the only thing to it. So I am roughing this up a little bit. It's okay.
Breaking it open for the roots to kind of breathe and whatnot.
Yes, see that? Yes, absolutely. Oh, thought I had an earthworm. I was going, wow.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't sure what that was.
Then a little more bone meal.
Yep.
Okay.
Cover that right there. I'm not doing a tremendous pack on this. I am, but I'm not. Because the water's going to do that. Because as you saw us watering earlier, we're going to go ahead and water again. And also, a lot of things a lot of people won't tell you is, see how this strawberry, she's sort of like leaning. Sometimes the strawberry will tell you which way she wants to grow. So, do we have a front and back on these? Or just Not really?
No, you're good. You're at the front, so.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna put her this away.
Okay. So
It seems like it wants to come this way.
you're planting her to come towards the front?
Yep.
Okay.
So we'll continue this until we get them all in there. We will top it off with the dirt, make sure as long as the crown's not under the dirt. And I can repeat that till the cows come home because that's important.
I guess you could look at it like the crown is where they breathe and whatnot. So if you
Yes.
cover that up, it smothers them and they
Yep.
can't live.
Yep,
One way to look at it, I guess.
that's it. And if you have a dead leaf like this right here and you tuck, and if they don't come out, don't force it. I just know what it'll take. And yes, some of these will be trimmed, but I'm not going to do anything for like a couple weeks. You want them in here, you want to get them settled, and then you'll be able to trim and take the molded leaves off. And that's exactly what this is. It's
Well, that
actually
thing is
just a mold.
root bound.
Very much. Wow. The reason I'm saying about that soil, the potted soil, as you can see, this dirt that I'm pulling away from them is hard. I tried to cut corners. Well, that corner about bit me. So we're going to survive from that corner. Okay, so let's see. Well, she's got all kinds of growth coming up in here. Go a little bit deeper. See that root?
Oh, wow.
She's absolutely ready. And the other thing I did while we were putting these in here, there was a lot of blooms that come up. All of these right here are right about 5 months old. They're a little bit older than what they need to do going into the dirt. I popped the blooms off. You don't want them to bloom
The first year?
actually the first year. No, you want them, as you can see, you want them to get a good root base. Well, we got that. That's for sure. And as you can tell, this one right here, she's actually got a runner. She's got roots on this runner, and that's the only reason I'm leaving it. If it didn't have roots, I'd go ahead and cut it off. But I know how old she is, strong, and we're gonna go ahead and let her feed this runner.
And you can plant that runner in the dirt, shove the runner into the dirt, and it'll grow another plant.
Yep.
And then you do what? You cut it.
When it gets stabilized, and when it gets stabilized and it'll put off another runner, I will cut that off because I want this to gain roots. But when you start tugging on it and it doesn't come out easy, it was
Okay.
looking for a home.
Yeah.
That's when I'm gonna go ahead and leave this one. But it'll get taller, it'll get thicker. And when I come out here and try to tug on, because I'll let it feed off of mama for a while.
Right.
And then when I know I feel like it's established enough, I'll go ahead and cut that away from mom. Mom can go
cut
ahead
the cord, so to speak.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So
Now, which
yep.
way is that one growing? Looks like that one's
She's actually going
that way.
that way. And yes, my husband laughs at me because I say he, she, and he goes, well, how do you know? I don't. It's just something that is.
People, fab and build land, everything in this place has a name. It's a he or a she or an it. So everything has a name when it comes to my wife. So
That is so true. I don't care. It does.
now
It
where do
is.
you want to plant that runner at? Because it's already got roots. You need to stick that in the dirt, right?
I'm actually going to put her right here.
Right in the middle.
If it'll allow me to curve it and lay it, but that's what's going to be the determinant. I'm going to have to, because I don't want to. That may, because if I try to do it this way, it's going to turn upside down. Let me see if I can go
There you
this
go.
way. There we go. I don't want to bury that too deep either.
Right. Even though it's a runner, it also has a crown as well,
Yeah,
right?
they do.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
I really don't think we need to top anything. I'm going to put a little bit in here to top this off just a bit.
Okay.
And then a good watering.
There we go.
And here's 5 more.
Sweet. Well, thank you, Carol, for that education on strawberries.
Fab
That's a
and
huge
Build
help.
strawberry planters.
I just thought that it would be nice for us to share that with our Fab and Bill family out
Sure,
here.
absolutely.
And say, well, this is why I'm building these planters. This is why they're this heavy duty. There is a rack yet to come.
Yes.
That is a tiered rack that's going to go up in steps. So it's going to be 4 deep. So we're looking between 36 and 48 inches deep to the fence or close to the fence. Somewhere in the neighborhood of about 40 to 46 inches tall. The whole entire thing we're gonna have is, I don't know, here, let me see if I can adjust the camera to where everybody can see it. But if I go up, you see how long it is from the end of the planter where Carol's at to here. We have a small space of about 2 inches in the center, which is going to be our frames for each of the tiered rack. We're going to add the 22-inch planter to the end of that. So from there to here is about the total length of that whole entire planter. So that's going to be
Right.
in the neighborhood of 11 to 12 feet, 11 and a half to 12 feet
Yep.
long. So that's going to be a monstrosity out here in the backyard. We're probably going to move it down where the table is, move
Yes.
that table up this way.
Yep.
So we're going to come back on the rest of this video with the planters as far as getting them in the tiered rack, building the tiered rack. Anyway, that's going to be it for this portion of it. We thank everybody for hanging in there with the video. We appreciate everybody, and y'all take care. Have a good one. We'll see you back here next time.